Okay, so I'll put my information in, see how long I have to wait for before it pops up.
Click go live on Riverside first, yeah?
Yeah.
Give me an agent now. I'm trying to get a Riverside agent up.
Nah, yeah, there's something up with it. So it's not either of our machines because we can't both have the same problem. Oh, hold on. Mine works.
What? No way.
So if I can go live.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So are you ready?
Yeah, mate, go. Jesus Christ, I can't believe this. Over to you, sir.
We are now live and direct, only about an hour late. We've been having the greatest technical difficulties that the world has ever seen. Welcome to Crypto Waffle episode 32. I am the ever happy CryptoSI, and this is my partner in crime.
The very frustrated Financial Navigator.
A very disgruntled Financial Navigator. It does seem like we may be having our lives from here from now on. I think Financial Navigator has been dropping too much alpha, and Mark Zuckerberg is
He's against it.
Yeah, he's had enough, and so we may be on this side from now on, or we may just move over to Twitter. Who knows?
I think that might be a good shout. But then again, I think we are meant to be able to
do both.
But I will be calling Riverside up tomorrow and giving them some abuse.
Okay, so today's topics, if you give me a few seconds to draw upon my my notes. Today's
shared
are Iran versus Israel. We're going to take a quick look at ETH Global in Prague, and we're going to have our gems of the week, and then we are going to do our predictions and cover over how we done in last week's predictions as well. We could also, I guess, have a sneak preview of, or tell people about an upcoming meetup that we may be attending this week, and also a special guest who we have got lined up very soon. But, let's get started. Market Watch. Iran versus Israel. Financial Navigator. Are you afraid?
No. Keep it simple. It's a nothing burger. Obviously, for the people that live there, it's a different story. But from a market's point of view, this sort of smaller headline stuff has been notorious for buy the dip scenarios. So I think this is no different. History has proven otherwise, or has proven that all these little things that break out in the Far East that usually are by the dip and one of the easiest trades to be on. So, I mean, we've seen next to no movement in markets, even though the weekend was quite volatile from a news point of view. So yeah, if we do get a bigger dip this week or towards the end of the week or whatever it is, because of whatever headline, that is a buy the dip from my end.
Are you considering that we get a bit more of a dip this week moving into next week, or do you think we're
possibly? I think if we're to have weakness, I believe it was meant to start in the second week of June, and it would last approximately 2 weeks. If that weakness should then come to an end, and it should be up only for the rest of June into July, and global liquidity looks like it stalls out in around August. So we will have to see if the trend is still our friend with regard to global liquidity. We should remain on that path. If we start to deviate, the trend is no longer our friend, and that is a useless metric. So we're at a point where we need to make that move soon to follow that global liquidity stuff that we've been looking at. If we don't make it, if we don't follow that soon, it's no longer good.
What are we thinking about with regards to the upcoming Fed talks and the likelihood of there being a rate cut or not?
I think that's more that what's happening this week with regards to FOMC, that should markets will definitely be more interested in that than what's going on in the Far East. Like, they will not be battering an eyelid to what Israel and Iraq are doing, or Iran, sorry. But as soon as Joe Powell opens his mouth, we're either going to dump or go to the moon. So we'll have to see what he says.
Yeah. What are you hoping for? What are you hoping from the Fed chair? Are you going to be?
I think he's going to just be repeating what he's been saying the whole time. We're waiting for data. We're waiting for data. He might drop some hints in there that maybe QT is coming to an end or something. Obviously, QT is still happening, but at a very, very small level. If anyone watches Benjamin Cohen, like, all season doesn't start until QT stops, like, totally, even though it's like a very small thing.
Let's say
So QT is quantitative tightening, so i.e., the Federal Reserve are withdrawing money out of the markets, and QE is quantitative easing, where they put money into the markets, normally the bond market, which is obviously the most liquid of all markets. Now, what was I going to say? My mind's just gone completely blank. I just had it, but now it's gone. Yeah, no, it's vanished. It'll have to come back to me.
I saw, actually, as we're waffling, I saw a project on Algorand for decentralized T-bills.
Yes. Yeah. That's quite I mean, who's the ones that are talking about launching stuff soon?
Midas, I think they might be.
Yes, that rings a bell. Because they're looking at, obviously, the big USD issuers are potentially the next big owner of US bonds, effectively. So, i.e., USDC, Circle, USDT. Did you see that Tron might IPO?
No.
Justin Sun?
No.
I did not see that.
How can
So I saw a tweet earlier that apparently they've dropped the investigation into Justin Sun, as Tron may be looking at an IPO. And I did not see that coming.
Wow. But he bought the dinner. He bought the dinner with Trump, didn't he?
I think so.
He bought the dinner with Trump.
Yeah, trusts are reportedly become public in the US through a reserve merger per Bloomberg.
Okay, right. Conspiracy theory time. Conspiracy theory time. So he buys the dinner with Trump, sits down with Trump over, I don't know, waffles or steak and eggs. It's gonna be something crappy because they're Americans. So he sits down with Trump over some crappy food. I think he had to pay hot dogs, corn dogs. I think he had to pay like 500 grand or something to sit down with Trump at this dinner where there was like 50 other people. He's probably only got a few seconds with him. And he's like, Donnie, baby, you want to call your dogs off? And Donnie's like, yes, I'm going to call the dogs off. I got a lot of dogs. I like dogs. I got great dogs.
They're really other dogs.
Yeah, he's done it. You're right.
That's nuts. If you had told me, like, if you could say, I guess, any project to go potentially public, I would not be saying Tron. Like,
No.
at all.
No.
At all.
Was he on my bingo card to go to prison?
Something like that.
If he wasn't on my bingo card to go to prison, he should have been.
Let me have a look at the bingo cards quickly. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, that was nuts when I saw that. I was looking at my phone thinking something's glitching.
That is crazy.
You had, where is it?
Oh, wow.
No, it doesn't say anything. I haven't got it.
Okay, so how does Trump make money off of this?
Well, so Tron are the most active USDT chain, aren't they?
Yes.
So if USDT and Tron then say to Trump, look, we know you've got a refi, we can participate in buying government debt to help you refinance. There's a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, effectively, isn't there?
Massive.
Involved.
Massive, yeah.
I mean, not that they're going to be massive, right? Because I can't remember the regulation name, but there's one coming into the European banks and the US banks where it's basically forcing the banks to hold more gov bonds. I think it's called Basel 4 or something, banking regulations. So the banks are getting forced to hold more government debt, effectively, because they need to keep this Ponzi going that we've discussed. And obviously they need to find new people consistently to do it. Now, obviously, we know USD and USDC aren't big enough to take the whole load on, but they can definitely make a dent. I mean, USDT is already the was it 5th biggest holder of US debt, something like that. Like, they're massive. They're bigger than some countries. I know the UK has also just flipped China. Oh no, Japan. Sorry.
In what? In terms of holding US debt?
Yeah, US debt. But I think UK are now the 3rd biggest, and we're tiny.
Yeah, but we got a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know where that is, but yeah, you don't see it.
We don't get our share, but it's around. It's in the country. It's in that country. Well, that's crazy. All right, so I'm looking this over now. Tron will go public in a reverse merger with Nasdaq-listed SRM Entertainment in a deal orchestrated by Dominari Securities, a New York-based boutique investment bank with ties to Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. God,
So his sons.
this is brilliant. These guys are the absolute mafia. Who the hell are Dominari Securities? Oh, well, listen.
Nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
So has that been actually confirmed that they are going public?
I would say.
Do you reckon that'll be soon though? Because that to me is a massive top signal. Tron going public.
No, that's not a top signal.
Yeah, but I think if that doesn't happen for the next couple of months, that could be a major top signal. Because no one's expecting it.
Yeah, but we are expecting it because we know Donald Trump.
I didn't expect a project.
No, but we didn't. But it's Donald Trump and his guys taking money. So we have been seeing that. I didn't expect them to have enough scope to tell the SEC to back off and let Justin Sun, of all people, he's like
one of the sketchiest people in crypto.
he is the sketchiest of the sketchiest people that are still standing. There's only him and there's Richard Hart. Him and Richard Hart are probably the 2 sketchiest guys still. Don't get me wrong. I love a sketchy guy. I know Diddy. Genuinely,
Justin Sun.
I genuinely do love a sketchy guy. Don't get me wrong. But you wouldn't expect them to be able to do a deal with the US government.
And no, not at all. Well, it just shows you the money talks, doesn't it? Well, that's brilliant, though.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. We are
And again, what would they not say that as a potential security risk, though, because he's from an Asian background?
Yeah, they don't care. Money talks. But people have been saying that to me, you know, like the friends that I do have in high places, they have been saying that Donald Trump and their regime, they're a lot more hands-off with the way other people do business. And it's just a question of come to us with a good deal. Now we can do a deal. Previous US regimes would not at all have allowed so much power to be in the hands of such a centralized network. Like,
well, it's because obviously there's the talks of getting rid of Jerome Powell as well in 2026. And this, I was listening to podcasts today, and this is why, obviously off camera and today when we were talking about the coronavirus, we were saying that this cycle could drift out to back end of 2026, 27.
it's not drifting out. Stop.
No, but listen. Right, so we have the midterms in 2026.
Yes.
And for Trump to get re-elected again, or for that side of the party to get re-elected again, I think, and this is what one of the guys I met at a Real Vision event said to me the other week on about an hour phone call I had with him, he will keep this thing moving till the midterms and keep markets sustained. Because if markets have a fat drop in 2026, let's say Bitcoin has a 60, 50% correction, or S&P's down 40, 50, 60%, right? He needs to pump that shit back up quick to get the vote into the midterms. If he doesn't, they're out. Like, they won't be staying, because anyone that's got money in markets will be like, Donald Trump has lost me millions. Oh my God, he's out. I want to get rid of him. I want Sleepy Joe back, right? That's one reason we need to keep markets going. The second is that whoever he gets in to replace Jerome Powell in 26 is probably, as I listened to the podcast today, going to be a mega dub.
Yeah.
So they'll get rates down straight away, no if, buts, or maybes, get that printer on, refinance this debt. And this is what could bring that out to a 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say 27, late 26.
Okay. You've almost...
And that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. But The problem is I've had too many cycles where there's been perfectly logical reasons.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously, yes, I'm still of the opinion we have a fat drop, like early 26, mid 26, but I can't quite work out unless he does some mad rescue party and saves all markets prior to midterms and gets like stuff flying, how that works out. Because I don't see him wanting to give power back over unless they have it happen a lot sooner, i.e. the standard Q4 drop into whatever it is.
What happens in the midterms? He can't lose
So
president.
he can't. He'll still run for however long he's left of his thing. But obviously, he wants his sons or whoever, Vance. I think it's Vance, isn't it? This is Ryan Man. To probably be elected next.
Yeah.
Because without that, and realistically, if you've got all the acceleration, it's like Trump, Zuckerberg, and all the big boys on board, like multi-billionaires, tech entrepreneurs, you need to give them more time than say 4 years, like to see if they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So to do that, they need, or I would assume, they need to get back in again to get this stuff rolling. So, and obviously that would be it would end up being the longest cycle ever. I think this cycle was already one of the longest cycles.
Yeah, it will be the longest one. Yeah, they always every cycle's long.
So they're getting longer every cycle. The drops aren't as harsh, right? We're still seeing mass stimulus. So from a longer point of view, depending on what you're holding, like if it's just Bitcoin, you don't touch it. You just add on big dips.
Yeah.
Obviously, stuff could change, and I think it might be a mixture of it all. But that plays into, I don't know what they call it every cycle, the super cycle.
Yeah, the super cycle.
Because they were saying about the podcast I watch, it's on Forward Guidance. It was called the physical dominant super cycle. So they were just saying that this physical dominance is going to continue, and as Lynn Alden would say, nothing stops this train, which is Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thinking to do.
But it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to consider, and it's more of this Donald Trump, I'm a leader, but I'm just gonna do what I like madness.
But do you know what? Do you know why I like this though? So for me, obviously, I take profits at certain levels. So if stuff flies, I'll be trimming all the way. I don't care if this thing goes out till 2074, like another 50 years, right? If I've got levels and I own assets, I'm trimming up all the way. And on those big drops, I add in. Now, if you're that guy that thinks they're the perfect top timer, right? Like, yes, you can possibly do it, but the likelihood of that happening is probably next to none. And I would much rather trim along the way because, as we just said, we could be totally wrong on this, and we have the standard Q4 correction that's into the bear. And then halfway through 2026, that's when we start coming out prior to midterms. Like, who knows? But if it doesn't and it continues, you also need to be positioned for that. Like, you can't be taking all your risk off at the end of the cycle and the assumption, okay, you've been proven every cycle, right? For you example, you've been here every cycle effectively. Every cycle, if you had said, right, Q4 I'm out, you'd be spot on. But as you've said many a times before, this cycle felt different.
Yeah.
Cycle before felt different. So you have to be positioned for why they also feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. And we see all these companies putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets like it's nuts. And the last couple of weeks or two, I think I saw a tweet today, the Wales have bought more ETH than they have in the last 3 years.
Wales,
Something.
country?
No,
Wales.
crypto Wales. Okay. Yeah, not Wales.
Gonna say that won't make much of it then.
Yeah, I'm not sure they would be buying much of it. But yeah, apparently the ETH whales are waking up as well. So, and that age-old graphic you see of altcoin season, Bitcoin rotates into ETH, ETH rotates into alts, alts rotate into memes, end of cycle.
Yeah.
Like, that springs to mind. I just think this time it's not memes, it might be ETH altcoins reversed. Not ETH, sorry, memes altcoins.
Yeah.
So into ETH, ETH into memes, memes into alts.
Yeah. I feel like alts just, when they wake up, it's going to be magical. But I wanted to stay on
It's going to be violent.
I wanted to stay on the topic of Trump. In the last week or so, Trump and Elon Musk had very public falling out, and then a very public making.
I bought a lot of Tesla on that day.
Yeah. So I'm in a WhatsApp group with a bunch of other old boys, and the Tesla thing, they were like, this is like WWE. They were like, this is so fake. Everybody buy Tesla. And that's what they were all shouting. Oh, you can get Tesla for 300. Everybody buy Tesla. And they all went and bought Tesla, and they now look like the smartest men in the universe ever.
I think it's still like 15% or something since.
Yeah. Which is massive in
TradFi, that's a year's worth of gains.
Yeah. Did you for any moment believe that there was an actual feud brewing between Trump?
I mean, I can see it. The only reason I can see it is obviously Trump's things to get elected was, we're not going to print as much money. We've got to get the deficit down, blah, blah, blah. And Elon's all for that because obviously I think he said on many podcasts like Joe Rogan, is it Lex Friedman or whatever his name is?
Friedman, yeah.
He's talked about obviously the scenario of this getting out of hand at some point. Not to say it's soon, but at some point this shit will probably blow up. And the US dollar Ponzi scheme is over and another one starts. But I could see them legit arguing about it. And you see the way that Elon Musk and Donald Trump act on Twitter regardless. So yes, in a way, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is probably a bit staged. But then again, I'm like, to be honest, I could see this being legit as well. So it was a bit of the two. And I think obviously a lot of the algorithms or bots or whatever just puked Tesla, and the dip buyers or retail come in and just swallowed it up.
It was one of those situations where I guess a bot will just chuck you off the bridge, won't it? But an actual human will be able to say, wait a minute, I know bigger picture. Yeah, we can recognize sarcasm.
There's also time horizon as well, isn't it? Because like a lot of the algorithms that are selling in the TradFi market now, or even in crypto markets, they're all like day traders. They'll be in and out within an hour or two, or within 24 hours. And I think one of the most talked about best ways of beating the markets is just having a longer time horizon. It's one of the best ways to beat markets is just having a longer point of view. Obviously, choosing the asset is key as well, but over a longer period of time, if you choose the correct asset, you outperform the majority of markets or people in markets.
Yeah.
So I think that's key.
I was watching a video recently about OpenAI's new mega factory. So they're building something.
Oh, right, okay.
In some tiny little desert town in America, Nowheresville, and they were trying to raise the money for it. I can't remember how much it was they needed to raise, but they need to raise this whopping amount of money. And they're sitting down brainstorming how they're going to raise this money. And there's three guys there. There's Sam Altman, some other guy, and Elon Musk. And the two guys say to Elon Musk, well, why don't we do a crypto ICO? And Elon Musk says no. He says, I don't want to do that because it will ruin my reputation.
Yeah, it's a bad thing on his name.
Yeah, which is quite interesting when he puts the bloody Shiba Inu.
He knows what he's doing. He's not bloody stupid, is he?
Yeah. So that's interesting. But now with having that was in a different climate. So that was when we had obviously Sleepy Joe and his gang in charge. And
Gary Gensler.
Oh, Gary, what's his name? Mr. Smithers. Oh, Mr. Smithers chasing after everybody with a ledger and trying to get them hung. So when he was involved, Elon Musk wanted nothing to do with it. But now we've got Justin's son making deals under the table with Trump's kids. I think we may see an Elon Musk ICO before too long.
Yeah, but do you think the ICO is X? Do you think an X will come public again?
No, I think the ICO will be something like a SpaceX or
SpaceX are private, aren't they?
Yep.
But the closest thing we've got in markets at the minute to SpaceX is RBLX, I think.
What's that?
It's Rocket Labs.
Okay.
Done nuts, like silly gains. Silly gains.
So there's a lot of money in those things. That Starlink.
Yeah, do you know what the biggest thing though? Like people talk about it, right? And people still bang the drum about gold, right? And I get that. I own gold. I own gold.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that worries me about it, and I know we're not too far off. I mean, because Elon Musk has got self-landing bloody rockets that are the size of 40-foot skyscrapers, like it's nuts. And yet people say it's impossible. There will be a point in time in the not too long future where we do mine resources from other planets.
Yeah.
No matter what that is. And what does that do to the gold price? Like the good thing to look at, so is diamonds, right? So before we were pretty good at science, right? Diamonds were expensive. Now, most diamonds you buy in shops are artificially made. And what's happened to the price of diamonds? Absolutely crashed. Diamonds are no longer a girl's best friend. They're no longer a good investment.
Slightly different because diamonds were their price was artificially inflated, so they were but with gold, then it's interesting that we possibly could start to mine them, and then the only question would be how much would it cost to get. The thing is with gold, right, that I see is that gold and crypto, they used to be rivals, and I think in this cycle they just stopped being rivals. Like, I don't think gold and crypto are rivals anymore. Previously, crypto was a hedge against the markets. Gold is a hedge against the markets. Crypto is now
Well, I think when you say markets, though, it's monetary debasement. That's what the hedge is. It's the money printing. Because other than that, there's no reason to hold gold. All right, because if there was no monetary inflation, right, what's the point in owning any asset?
I think crypto's more speculative as well, though. I think crypto has a huge speculative element. So I think there is a hedge, and I think previously the hedge against monetary debasement was the thing when maybe we were at 10K, 20K.
Nah, it's still a hedge all day. It's still a hedge. Like the deficit, like they need to roll 7 trillion. Like that's nuts. So like going back, so I think over the last 15 years or something, the average monetary debasement, and I'm going to use the dollar here because it's the world reserve asset, is approximately 8 to 12% a year. So on a year over year, it's approximately 8 to 12% a year. That going forward is getting worse. It's not stopping. That number's getting bigger. It's going from 12% to 20. So as soon as you make an investment, be it in gold or diamonds, whatever that could be, crypto, you need to be making at a minimum 12%. So just to even get even, like, and actually keep up in life, 12% is the hurdle. And that's not even including inflation, which obviously printing money, obviously it creates short bursts of inflation and whatnot. And the only way a lot of people say that we can get out of this is obviously by innovation, tech, AI, robotics, all this stuff, because we need GDP to be a hell of a lot higher than what our spending is.
Yeah.
So
I
can't see it happening. I can see it happening. It's not in the next 5-10 years. I'll be down the line. But I reckon they keep this Ponzi going until then.
Another way to back up your argument that it is mostly hedge is that when you put the M2 money supply against...
Yeah, it follows global liquidity. And until that's wrong, because like even if you put that on, let me share my screen. Where are we? Entire screen. Bosh. Here we go. We want crypto, mighty Bitcoin, and we stick this on like a monthly. Ignore the drawings and return global liquidity on. So you can see pretty much since 2012, right? We have been following global liquidity, which is effectively money printing. So the trend is your friend until this breaks, effectively. So the day that global liquidity drops off, right, I'd expect Bitcoin to do the same. Or if global liquidity screams higher and Bitcoin drops off, like over a longer period of time, because obviously we're looking at a chart here that spans from 2012. Let's say global liquidity keeps ripping higher through 27, 28, or 26, 27, but Bitcoin then has a sell-off, and it's in a bear market of a year or whatever it is, then something's up. Yeah. But you can see here there's a general correlation with, okay, global liquidity peaked here back in last cycle. We then had the dump, yet again, caused by global liquidity. We then rise up to where we are now. Oh, would you guessed it? Global liquidity again. I'll tell you what's funny though, is we've been so correlated since BlackRock came in with the ETFs.
Yeah.
The big asset managers, and the only one yet to do it is Vanguard. And I think they're just playing quite stupidly, just playing dumb, if I'm honest. But since we've been plugged into the ETFs or the global liquidity, i.e. BlackRock and friends, right? We have pretty much been like lockstep. And that was obviously back here in, was it Q4 23, whenever it was. Since then, we have literally just been in lockstep with it, apart from maybe this slight deviation here, but we still had the sell off in the end. But the trend is still our friend. We're still following it. And I think that's the key.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. Right. So moving on, we was going to discuss ETH Global Hackathon, but I'm going to make the executive decision to skip that this week as we're down to.
When we've had a nice long chat about Trump and friends.
Yeah. And I think that was more important, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And let's go into our 2 gems of the week.
Would you like to go first, or do you want me to get the screen and shit?
Well, to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Would you like me to keep my screen up for yours as well, or no?
Yeah.
Where are we? Where is my deck screener? Entire screen, share, deck screener, wallet. So first of all, welcome to my new best friend. His name is Bob. Okay? Bob. And Bob stands for Build on BNB, or Build on Binance, effectively. And this thing to me, from a technical point of view, one, it resonates because Bob the Builder was part of my childhood. Okay. And this, yes, is correct. When you're looking at meme coins, if you like it, you like it. Okay. Doesn't matter what it is. This thing, on a technical point of view, had a nice big run up, nice big consolidation period. We had the 96% correction, although it seemed pretty short-lived. Created this lovely wedge, have since broke out, and then now pretty much chopping around the all-time highs and just finding our feet, basically holding some support before, I believe, what could be a hell of a lot higher. Now, what is interesting about Bob is, one, it's on BNB, and this is probably the first time out of all episodes of Crypto Waffle we've even mentioned the Binance Smart Chain at all. And it's one of the chains that has had no love this cycle. And I think it's due a hot girl summer. I think Binance will have some sort of mad rally. And it is one of the best looking asset charts as well. So if I turn this off, like, this is BNB. I'm going to turn my drawings back on. It is better looking than Sol. It is better looking than ETH. It's arguably better looking than Sui. And that's one of the darlings. Because look, again, a bit like Bob, it is chopping right near prior all-time highs, ready to rock. If I go to Sol, you can see we're quite a way off. Like, we're not even near the prior cycle peak, around 255. ETH, just as far. Prior cycle peak, 4,800. BNB looks a hell of a lot better, and no one has been talking about it. So I think if BNB rips, I mean, we've got a potential shoulder, big rounded head, shoulder here. That target takes us actually up to around 2,000, call it $572 dollars. If that's to happen, I think memes on Binance will run, and my chosen one is Bob. They also had interactions from the Binance X accounts. I've been posting pictures of these helmets. Like this helmet here, they had a picture of these stacked, like 30 helmets on the photo with the Binance thing on the top. So that is a good thing. And the other thing is, I believe this is the correct one. If you use bubble maps to look who's holding it, show exchanges, we're on the wrong token. This one here, Killjoy, I've ruined it.
You've teased my gem of the week there.
No one saw it. That was too far.
That was fast. That was fast. No one would have seen that.
Well, so we seem to be having some more technical difficulties at the moment. Would this like to load or no? Not working. But anyway, if you go to Bubble Maps, type in Bob, click Show Exchanges, you will see a massive Binance bubble. And effectively, yes, you can look at that bad as well as good. Binance could dump on your head, but I think Bob at a 21 million market cap isn't big enough for them to be dumping. They want to send that to hundreds of millions.
That may be Pancake Swap. Would it show as Pancake Swap or would it show as thing?
Well, they got a liquidity pool as the second biggest one. Oh, it's working now. Typical. Let me get it up. Yeah, let's have a look. Bubble Maps. There we go. Yeah. So there's Binance. Top one, obviously. They've got around 63% of the supply. And this one here is liquidity. It says Bob BNB. So I assume that is on the likes of Pancake Swap.
What is that Binance address? Click the address and let's see if we can see what else is in there. What is it? BNB scan.
No, I need to go on the website and I BNB scan.
I was hoping it might be a burn address, but I don't think it is.
Where am I going? Token transfers, holding.
Yeah.
34 million.
Yeah.
They've got Bob. They've got 15 mil of Bob. And that's their biggest holding. That's nuts.
What? I don't know what this wallet is.
Yeah, what is this wallet? It doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I wouldn't mind having this wallet though. If they want to pass the keys over, that'd be great.
Yeah, you wouldn't do too badly. You've got 40 million altogether, 6 million elsewhere. If you look in the top right.
And then they got a load of 2 at the bottom, but Bob seems to be the biggest holding. Could this just be the wallet for that? Yeah, sure. I'm sure if we probably took a deeper dive, we may see links to other wallets for Binance. But that is my gem of the week. And for full disclosure, I'm not in a position yet. I should hopefully be by the end of the week.
I've just had an idea.
Share.
This is not my gem of the week. This is my honorary mention. Now check this out for a great idea.
Tron Ball. Yes. Oh, that's the day.
Just give me a meme on Tron. I looked at it and look at that. That is the news breaking, isn't it?
Is there even many things on Tron, like meme-wise?
As far as I know, there was
Sun. That was one of the big ones, wasn't it?
What was it called?
It's called Sun. It's currently 350 mil market cap. It went there and
there was a Sun dog.
Yeah, it went to a peak of just shy of $1 billion, $840 million.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Sundog was a good one. Sundog's had a nice pump today. So all of them have had a nice pump on the news that Justin Sun is in bed with the Trumps. Another Trump pump. All right, so I'm gonna go. No, do you know what? Let's go full degen. I'm going with this Tron Ball as my.
You can't do this.
I'm going with this as my new gem of the week. Chuck the other one. Chuck it in the bin. This is my new gem of the week, and here's why. It's got a fully diluted valuation of 6 million, which means it's tiny. It could go to 0, like in the blink of an eye, but for it to even get to 60 is a 10x. The trading volume is over 1 million, which granted has mostly been today.
Probably due today, last 24 hours at least, isn't it?
Yeah. But having said that, it's trading volumes, it was higher more recently. Price was in the toilet prior to.
All-time highs is around 26 million market cap.
Yeah, we're down 96% from all-time highs.
There'll be a lot of people left holding it.
Yeah. So to me, it's not on any exchanges either. To me, this looks like a good punt. Obviously, if you've got any common sense, you would ignore
not touch it.
Yeah, and probably go for Sundog instead, which has done almost 50% of it.
What's Sun Pump? Because it says on their deck screen, or just the screen I'm looking at, it says first Tron bought on Sun Pump. So I assume that's that version of Pump.fun, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So yeah, here we go. Sundog. This is Sun Pump.
We can't see your screen, by the way.
Oh, am I not showing the right one? All right, hold on. Let me show you.
Okay, so Tron Ball, right? I've just clicked on their Twitter. Right, it says official T-ball on X, first meme coin of Tron's mascot. and then they've got one subscription, right? So on X, you can obviously see followers following, one subscription, and that is Justin Sun.
That's the only person they subscribe to.
Yeah. Well, is that them subscribing to him, or is that him subscribing to them?
I don't know. I guess
That him subscribing to them, no?
Them subscribing to him, yeah. I guess they subscribe to Justin Sun. Or was it the other way around?
Darryl, he posted a tweet an hour ago. A Tron MSTR, Tron strategy. Justin Sun's Tron is looking to go public in the US and from a holding of Tron, according to Bright Report. So he's basically going to do Michael Saylor for Tron.
Yes. Yes is the answer. So, okay, so that was not my gem of the week. That was just a light-hearted take. I will quickly give you my gem of the week now.
Yeah. I'm not even sure I want to be touching this.
What? Sundog?
No, not Sundog, T-Ball.
No, you shouldn't.
I need to, though. You can't not on that sort of news, can you?
I mean, I definitely will be picking up something Tron-like. I've got a Tron wallet where I use to send USDT.
I've never even used it.
Oh, yeah, you have to use it for USDT. That's what
I have never used it.
You need to come to the depths of crypto, mate.
Come to the dark side.
Yeah, all the real degens hang out. Then you'll be using all this USDT on Tron. So I've used it, and I've got some money in there, which I just leave as Tron. I thought, one day this will, but now I think I might move it into some Sundog.
Sundog or T-Ball, or there's just Sun.
No, I'm not going to do just Sun. I have to do it.
Sundog is 65 mil. Sun is 350 mil market cap, and then T-Ball is 6. There's one called Puss, which is at 10.
It's teeth. I'm going to go with Sundog.
I reckon a nice split. I reckon if you were to do this sensibly, okay, from a sensible person, i.e. me here, okay, what you would do is 50% Sun, 30% Sundog, 20% T-Ball.
Yeah.
That's how I think you position it.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to join rights, obviously.
My compromise would be I would do it the other way around.
Yeah, I know you would.
That would be my compromise.
The public is not CryptoSI.
No. They should be, though. They should be more like me.
It's much more fun. Right, so here is my actual gem of the week. I do hold a position in this project. I will not say how large or small that position may be, but this is my gem of the week, and it is Aura. Now, the reason why I like Aura, there's a subscription service called Cryptonary. They are based here in the UK. They are a research firm, so it's their job to go and research new projects and research things in crypto. They've been around since my second cycle, so maybe 2018. Well, that's when I learned of them in 2019, but they'd been around for a while by then. I subscribed to them as soon as I found out about them because they give out a lot of good alpha, and they were the first ones on the scene when it came to meme coins. They were the first ones there. They didn't get involved with airdrops and stuff like that. They were a tiny bit, but not really. But memes, they nailed it. So they were early on with, they were early on PopCat, they were early on SPX. And now they've come out and they've said about this Aura. And this one, unlike the other three, this one they are somewhat officially backing. So this one is a community takeover. This one is community takeover by the Cryptonary community. The Cryptonary community have obviously done really well, as they've done well with PopCat, they've done well with WIF, they've done well with SPX. So they've obviously done really well. So they've got a couple of quid behind them. So that's why this project had this almighty rise, which is, you can see here in the last 30 days, it's like 13,000x. So it's like, I don't know, what's that, 130x?
Yeah.
So it's done 130x in the last week or so.
Silly gains.
Yeah, silly gains. At 170
million at the moment, but PopCat hit 1 billion, SPX hit 1 billion.
So what do you reckon this is going to hit that billion then? Do you reckon that's what they're aiming to do?
They call it a yard in the big boys club. They call it a yard, and yes, I do. I think they'll get there with it. I think this one will be the one that the Cryptonary boys can forever dine out on. It should drive a lot of traffic to their subscription service, a lot more eyes to their research firm. Hopefully gives them some better deal flow, so they're going to know more stuff, so their research can be better. A bit like what happens with Masari, whereby people come and tell them stuff first, and then everyone acts as if they've found out through all of this like special research that they're doing. So hopefully something similar happens to Cryptonary. I can see it happening. They are well organized. They are good. They are like Crypto Waffle 5 years down the line. Well, we'll probably be better than them, but they are good, I will say.
So question. Do you reckon, so you mentioned some other memes there, i.e. SPX. Did you say Fartcoin as well?
Oh, SPX with
PopCat.
Those are the ones that they've really...
So do you reckon entering Aura here or entering the ones that are down? Because I know Whiff's down bad. PopCat, I took a position in for a swing trade a couple of weeks ago. That's looking at about a 5x just to get to all-time highs. And in my eyes, is a slightly safer bet, and it hasn't had this almighty run in the last week. So do you reckon it'd be better to position in something like that is kind of proven and is still around even after a 90% drop, or the new kid on the block?
The new kid on the block, because it's always about the new kid on the block. These guys also, they don't have any listings. Listings are their news events. PopCat is an interesting buy. I wouldn't like to say one or the other. I think I would go with your 40% here, 60% there strategy. I wouldn't like to say one or the other. But if I was pushed and I didn't want to be a politician and not answer the question, I would go with Aura. Simply because it's got slightly more room to grow. I guess it still looks a lot smaller than PopCat. It is new, and it does better follow this idea that memes should have a narrative.
Do you see Murad adding this to his list? I think that will create a big buzz.
Yeah. If he does.
Yeah, it's only 330 million. It's not that much bigger.
No, it's about twice the size, yeah, but it's not that much bigger, you're right. And you're getting a lot more safety with a PopCat. But
yeah. If you know CryptoSI by now, he doesn't like safe.
No, safe is not. We've not come here for that. The trading volume on Aura has actually dropped off quite a lot. So it's down to about 10% of the volume, which has dropped off quite a lot. It was the volume was sky high. Like, look at this volume. It was massive. 82. So the volume has dropped off quite a lot, which is really not a good sign. As it consolidates, I guess it happens. It means that the run has finished. And you compare that to PopCat, volume is actually around, what's that, 15%?
Yeah.
15, 17% of the thing. So the PopCat volume is looking a bit better, but PopCat is on Coinbase and Gate, so it does have a lot more.
It's still not on some of the. It's not on Crypto.com or Binance, though, is it?
So the whole reason why I was ever bought PopCat, and I think I told you this must have been maybe.
So sorry, that's on the exchange, not the Coinbase app, because they're different things.
Right. So how would you see if it was on the app?
I'll have a look.
Tell me something that is on the Coinbase app. Let's have a look.
I know Pepe's on there.
Look at Pepe.
And Doge.
Not showing Pepe on Coinbase at all.
The PopCat.
Coinbase Exchange. There you go.
Or maybe it is Coinbase Exchange. Yeah, probably.
Exchange is the app.
Shout, I'm waffling.
Yeah. Then
no, it is on there.
Yeah, they're not going to be different. I lost my trail of thought now. But anyway, yeah, so Aura is the one I would go for. That's my gem of the week. And yes, I do have a position. Also, just to let the viewers know, we will be updating the CryptoWaffle.fun website
with our portfolio. So we've got our partners here now. I'm going to add not portfolio, our gems of the week. So we're going to have a nice thing like this. It'll be like a chart. It will show the day, the gem, the price when we said the gem, and also our target for the gem, and then a link to the video that the gem was discussed in.
So from a target point of view, you're saying, I can't remember what the word was now. You said, the yard. So you reckon we'll all hit 1 billion, and I'm going to conservatively say the Bob could end up being the meme of Binance. And in that case, should be over 1 billion. But I'd like to be conservative and say at least goes to 400 or 500 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make you correct, to be honest with you. And we did speak about these earlier, our 2 gems of the week. And I think that's why you get me. I think that's why you beat me this week again, is because this one's got a lot more room to grow, because it's 10x for it to...
Oh, small, yeah.
Yeah, it's still so small. Makes it more risky. Does make it more risky, it being so small. But look at that volume. 9 out of 23. That's what, 30 odd %?
Yeah, it's good.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. And Binance is due a hot girl summer. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is due.
It's been one of the forgotten about chains this cycle.
Yeah. And that's only because Solana has been the business.
Yeah, it's been all the news flow, isn't it? As soon as something switches, I think you'll see it move pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Should we jump into Hyperliquid?
Let's do it.
Seems we're running super late today. So for a catch up with what happened last time.
No, let's do what about
predictions. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
You are jumping the gun, sir.
So last time, or last week, should I say, sorry, we did have, again, some technical difficulties. And we had to make predictions on the day of the recording, which was a Thursday.
Friday, maybe. It was a
Friday, one of the two. And we had to we put a trade on for the last 4 days of it. But anyway, from Thursday, so I'm going to stick this on a 4-hour. What was the date on Thursday? That was 4 days ago, so that's 12th. So where would we have been? Probably somewhere in here, weren't we? Because that short that's on is the one I put on, and I'm pretty sure we got stopped out, didn't we? So this wick here that went up to 1084 stopped me, and then we had the move. So annoying. So annoying. This is why I hate stop losses. Je déteste.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did hit targets. I'm going to give it to both of us because you were margins off. Like $700 odd, $750. Came into me. Mine was more of a conservative play, but target was hit. Redo, I believe I put on Dex Screener instead because it's a hell of a lot better chart. Zooming into our targets, it has gone the opposite. So where's 12? We're around here. We were thinking it was going to hold support. It didn't. It's since fallen, but still a gem. What else did we have? Well, we had Buddy. So whilst I'm on deck screen, I will show everyone Buddy because we put that on. Buddy is performing very well today. Although I haven't got the predictions on here. Maybe we didn't do Buddy.
I haven't got the predictions on me because I was on holiday. I didn't have anything with me.
Maybe we didn't have it then. Okay, but we didn't do Buddy. Both unfortunately wrong. We put it on. Well, I don't know. Was that wrong? Where's the 12? Yeah, wrong. We thought it was going to hold. Since hasn't. This what I was looking for, an inverse head and shoulders. Wrong.
Instead, we got a lower low.
Yes, we did. We got a lower low on the 4-hour. Just bear that in mind. But it means nothing. Link. So 12 here. I expected a bounce. And this was your indeed trade, which actually hit target. So congratulations for saving us this week. And perfectly hit your target. Then we've had a nice bounce since. And then finally, Aerodrome. We both smashed through our targets. Obviously, on the news that Coinbase was putting basically access to Aerodrome or the DEX on the Coinbase app.
No
Something
way.
on it.
Really?
Did you not see that?
No, I didn't.
You need to get your X notifications on. What's going on? You didn't see Tron. You didn't see this.
Do you know what it is? I just got back from holiday.
Oh yeah, that's the
I went fully tournament with my son.
And then it was Father's Day, so I was being a father, so I didn't have time for all of this. But that's great.
Yes, because it opens up obviously the base ecosystem as well to.
Right, and that
Is one of your picks, Aerodrome? Is one of the ones that you...
And Mr. Miggle is just still a sleeping giant in my eyes. So
Yeah. I think that's a pretty massive deal. Yeah.
I tell you what we need to do. We need to do a walkthrough. Maybe after we've had the guest next week, we need to do a walkthrough of base, a walkthrough of Ton, and a walkthrough of BNB because I have no clue how to use that, and maybe Tron. There's at least 4 things we need to walk through there because I have no idea how to use Tron or BNB rig. I mean, I've used Pancake before, but that's nothing major.
Right. Okay. All right. So after our guest, we will have a new segment called the walkthrough.
Yeah. Right. We need to be kind of rapid. I've got 12%. Bitcoin predictions. What do you think?
10. Oh gosh. More chop. 103.
You reckon we come back down? Let me move you up. 103. There. I want to go bullish. I so want to go bullish. No, I'm gonna join you. 103. We come back. What else do we want? Well, I reckon we do Tron. We got to do Tron. That was mentioned. What other Trump coins, or could you say Trump coins there are? I would say Link is one, just because the World Liberty Finance had talked about Link. I probably did that last week, actually. Forget that. I've got Tron. Anything else?
Trump.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah.
What a piece of garbage. I think we should do. Should we do Popcats in as we mentioned it?
Yes, we could be.
I don't know. We did that last week.
Yeah, done Popcat recently.
What's going on?
Let's do
B&B. I'd like to do B&B actually.
Yes, BNB's a great shout.
And then one more.
Let's do a smaller one for one more. I'll tell you what one we'll do. We will do. Oh gosh, nothing's down.
Well, it's a good day today. I believe it's some sort of options rollover or something in the S&Ps, which is why everything's up.
Shall we grew? I don't know.
Let me grab one. Let's do World Liberty Fund. No, it's a stable coin. What the hell is that? Let's do FET, one we have never done before.
Okay.
Artificial superintelligence. Here we go. So we've done Bitcoin, Tron. Where do you think we're going?
It's not on Hyperliquid, by the way.
What is in Tron?
FET.
Oh well, I haven't really got enough options.
Do you know what I wanted to say actually was Monero, because I'm going to Monero's conference.
Yeah, we can do XMR.
Yeah, I'm going to MoneroCon in Prague.
That's not on there though, is it?
No, that's not on there either.
Right. Okay. So Tron, where do you think? Although we had that news today, that daily candle's not looking too hot.
No. Looking like a lot of people used it as an exit.
Yeah, it's just looking like sideways chop.
Okay. In that case, I'll say 2.6.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say a bit below. I reckon we might poke our heads down to here. 2.5. Trump,
What are we at now?
2,790.
What's next?
Trump,
Yeah.
shipping bleeding. I reckon we come back down. I'm going to go, call it, is $9 too close?
Probably close. I'm say 8.50.
Yeah, I'll do the same. Keep it nice and simple. 8.50. BNB, I'm actually going to go bullish. I'm saying 7.20.
Wow. You think that the breakout's on?
I'm going to say we see a move. Well, we'll come out of this triangle and we're just currently holding. So I think it's a possibility
I'm going to say 6.20.
as well.
620.
Lovely.
Reclaim it. Not 720, 620.
Oh, 620. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Wait a sec. Don't need like. That's nothing.
Is that too close?
Yeah, far too close.
All right, 550.
Whoa. Too far. Too far.
Go to that other one there. What's the other one? No, the other is.
No, it's fine. I'm joking.
I should have gone for the other resistance.
Mega Bear's back.
Yeah, it's got to be mega one way or the other. What was our last?
XMR. What is it? Ready to go again, you know? I've got a bloody long screen on. Got a market cap chart. Yeah, I reckon bullish, you know. I'm going to say 370. Is that too close?
I'm going to go 380.
Yeah, I'll just join you. There's no point in having difference. Which one would you like to chart?
Let's do. Oh, we didn't do for NEM. We'll do Trump and BNB.
Yeah, I would like to take the BNB long, please. And if I could, I'll stop sharing my screen just so you can get the hype on. I would like to have my stop loss at next week. Where can we go in 1 week? I mean, we shouldn't go back below there. 620 stop loss. Take profit. Yeah, 720. Sweet. Lovely.
Hold on, let's see. We'll do $20. All right, we'll do $25.
25 bucks.
$25. Right. What are you?
I would like to have a stop loss of, what are we at now? Yeah, 650. So 620.
So it's long, yeah?
Yeah, long, please. Stop loss 620. And then a take profit of 720. So I don't think we make a new low. I just don't see it. Or new local low.
Okay. Your long has been placed.
Oh, actually, the low on Hyperliquid was 605. Hang on a minute. Can you do a stop loss at 590? Sorry. Just looking, this charts are slightly different. 590, yeah, take profit.
720.
Let me just look. 730. Or let's do 728.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have gone B.
But which one I'm going to do? I'm going to short. I'm going to short.
Trump on it.
Yeah.
Is Trump on here?
Yeah.
What? That's like the easiest short ever.
Of course it is.
If you watch full well over this week, we get some announcement about the Trump coin.
Yeah.
Knock us clean out.
Yeah. Trump coin is being bought by the Republic of Bahrain as their new as their new national currency. Right. Take profit. What should I put my take profit at?
What was your target?
Oh, I need to put it on short for a start.
Our target was 850. So, I mean, I would like to be conservative. Well, as you know, it's your trade. Ignore it. Don't care what I think.
850. Stop loss. 12. Nah, it's too hard.
Yeah.
1150.
1150, yeah.
1150. 1150. Stop.
Lovely stuff.
Place order. Sure. Let's go. Well, I've got a liquidation price on mine. What's that? It's interesting.
22. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be liquidated. You got a stop loss in place. Well. Right. Well, actually, no, you can do the outro. Your channel. Apologies.
Yeah. Sorry if I get my face back on the screen. So yeah, this has been a Crypto Waffle. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. I've been CryptoSI. This has been my fabulous, glamorous assistant, the Financial Navigator. We may start pitching this to X as well as Instagram starting from next week. We're going to see if we can get that going.
I need to fix some stuff on my end.
Yeah, you do. You need to start switching your laptop for a start. We will see if we can get Pump Minister released in the next week. And also the Gems of the Week should be up on the website by the time we are here next week. So thanks you all for watching.
And we got a guest next week.
Oh, we got a guest next week. Okay. Yeah.
secret guest. No, no,
but well worth watching and
no spoilers.
absolutely brilliant guy. This guy, yeah, he's almost changed my entire religion. So let's look forward to having him on, and I will see you all later. Thank you.
Adios.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
That's Alexa.
What a great ending.
What a great ending.